So my first question on the Iona 75th campaign, Forever campaign, is tell me a little bit about what the Iona Forever campaign is.
Sure. Well, Iona Forever is a comprehensive fundraising endeavor, the largest in our 75-year history. And it's really about enhancing the student and faculty experience at the college. Really, again, this opportunity will position the college as we move into these next 75 years.
Okay, and what is the goal of the Iona Forever campaign?
Sure. On September 19th, 2015, 75 years to the day, the college celebrated our 75 years of existence. We had an International Day of Service, and at the conclusion of that, under the ginkgo tree, we announced the public launch to this Iona Forever, this comprehensive endeavor. And the goal that we announced is a $150 million fundraising initiative that really supports students, faculty, and programs.
I was one of the people that participated in the Iona 75th Day of Service, and I thought it was phenomenal that all those service projects were taking place, especially not even just around in New Rochelle. Baltimore to all
right.
across the country.
Locally as well as globally. We had an opportunity to engage our 40,000 alumni, our Christian brothers in Africa and other places throughout the world. And it's an opportunity for us as a community to live the mission. And so I think that truly tells you what the fabric and what Iona is all about, being able to live the mission, coming together 75 years to the day. On the steps of Cornelia Hall, the first building of the college. I think that was a special way for us to kind of talk about publicly this Iona Forever. And as some of our board members have said, it's not Iona for a while. It is truly Iona Forever. And this initiative and these efforts and the results of this will be transformational for the college in the years to come.
That's great. And about how much money has been raised so far for the Iona Forever campaign?
Sure. Well, we've had, when you're in this fundraising campaign, and ours is a comprehensive campaign. The college in the past has done some capital projects in raising some building dollars for that, but this is truly a comprehensive, which is about increasing the endowment and the impact of the endowment. It's about increasing the annual giving that happens to the college, as well as some of these well-needed facility improvements. And so in order to do that, for the last few years, we've been in what we call the quiet phase, where we're going out to our board of trustee members and our strategic alumni who've been very close to the institution and have asked them to join in and make transformational gifts in their own right in order for us to go out and launch the vision. The college almost 5 years ago went through a strategic plan, and as a community, not just one individual, one group, but as a community of students, of faculty, of alumni, of staff and friends came together to create this strategic plan and think of Iona Forever as the fuel to make that plan go.
How many ways has the Iona Forever campaign been advertised?
Well, I think after September 19th, we went viral, we went public. That next day, we had some generous benefactors put an ad in the New York Times or pay for an ad for us in order to kind of celebrate 75 years, 40,000 alumni, one mission, and tell not only the internal community, but in some ways the world, how Iona College continues to move that world and make a positive impact in it. So we've had a New York Times ad in that September 20th. I think it was 2 weeks later, we had that same ad repeat itself. Again, thanks to the generosity of New York Times as well as our friends on the website. Once the announcement was made on that 19th, it turned over. The first photo in the carousel talked about Iona Forever. We had social tweets and Instagram and you name it go out. We had an email that evening, or I should say the next morning, go out to our alumni population. We also had a letter from President Nyer and the board go out a few days later, truly getting everyone excited about the opportunity for us to talk about Iona, the Iona story, and celebrate it.
I did see that ad in the New York Times. It was about half a page, I think.
It certainly was.
You couldn't miss it. I mean, it was great to see that. I also saw a few ads all over Facebook, like on the side there. That was a good strategy, and as well as the Ionian, our campus newspaper.
I think supporting our local family is important, but also getting the students involved. I mean, the students and the faculty benefit from this transformation, and the more, I mean, it's not going to be too long that you're going to be a proud alumnus of Iona College, and kind of talking about it from an alumni perspective. And so our students today, our prospective students, everyone buying in and understanding the power of this is, I think, an important vehicle for it.
And how will this campaign benefit the college 10, 20, even 75 years down the road?
Well, again, I think it puts us on that footing that it shows we've arrived as a college. You know, if someone asked, this campaign, this Iona Forever, what is it? It's about increasing student scholarship. It's about continuing to support and enhance the world-class faculty and the programs of the college. And it's some of these important capital investments in the college. But so having that as kind of the backdrop, if someone said, what is the most important thing? What is the legacy or the footprint of this Iona Forever? It's about increasing the size and, more importantly, the impact of the endowment for that student scholarship and those endowed professorships and endowed programs, so we can ensure that the Iona you know today is still the Iona that we love and we continue to strive for in those, as you mentioned, 5, 10, 75 years from now.
It's pretty crazy to think. In 75 years, I'll be in my 90s, and who knows?
And you'll be coming back to homecoming and reunion weekend, maybe a volunteer and all those pieces. But when you think about the fabric of a college, 75 years is actually young.
Yeah.
We are a young college.
Yeah.
And under President Nayer's leadership and the leadership of the Board of Trustees, over these last 4, 5 years, we've seen the endowment double in its size. And also, that means the impact of it, being able to support programs and activities. As we look right out the window here, you see a residence hall going up on North Avenue that'll open this coming fall.
Yeah.
And giving our upper class students and others the ability to continue to reside and have that residential Iona experience. So we're a young college, and then when you think of the residential experience, we're young. We've only had residential living in kind of the way you know it today for the last 15 years.
It's great to see how Iona College is expanding, expanding its boundaries and borders, with building the new residence hall, and as well as, making renovations around campus, and it's great to see that.
And all that's being done with student input, with faculty input, with community and alumni input. Again, I think it's that greater Iona community coming together for Iona, by Iona, and I just think this tag that we've been calling it of Iona Forever really just hits the right chord as we talk about the future.
Where is most of the money that's being raised coming from? Is it students, alumni, or a combination of both?
Well, and I think your question expands. Is it corporations? Is it foundations? In order for $150 million for the largest comprehensive campaign to happen, we need to all be tugging on that rope in the same direction from all those constituency groups. But truly, the alumni have gotten us to this point. I think earlier you asked, what's the size of the campaign on that historic day of September 19th, 2015, we announced that we've raised $61.4 million, or almost 41% of that $150 million goal in gifts and in pledges as we continue to kind of come out in this public sense. Since that time, we've raised another little over $2 million. So we're just under that $64 million as we continue to move this. And it's inspiring that our alumni and our population are saying, I want to invest in this. I want to invest in this with my time. I want to invest in this with my talent and also my treasure. And we need all three. I mean, we have a wonderful alumni base of 40,000 who are truly moving the world locally and globally. And so how do we bring them back? This Iona Forever is an opportunity to bring our alumni base back and interact with our current students and soon to be our alumni, whether that's job conversations or job placement or just abilities to understand what their Iona experience was like and what today's is like. We just celebrated homecoming, and from all accounts, it was a wonderful homecoming. More alumni and families came back and celebrated. Our rugby team beat I never like to see Army lose at anything. They were ranked first in the country, and yet the Iona Gales on our homecoming, on our field of Mazzella Field, put in a W for us. That was wonderful. It was a great opportunity to celebrate that. We had a new lecture series unveiled, Advancing Ethical and Moral Leadership. And Bill McGurn from the Wall Street Journal was the inaugural lecture. And in Ramita Auditorium, it was standing room only during homecoming. So you had the academic component, you had the athletic or the sport component, you had a group called the Nerds at the end of that Saturday to continue to celebrate 75 years at a college. So that's a good opportunity to tell that story about Iona. And so we look for opportunities and ways to engage our alumni to participate in all things Iona. And I think this campaign is a nice umbrella in order to do that.
And my final question is, how can current students on campus and anywhere else get involved with the Forever campaign?
You could make a gift. You could make a gift with your hard-earned money and say, you know, I believe in this. And the size of the gift isn't the piece that's the importantness. It's the students and our alumni saying, we believe in this, and thank you to the college for the leadership to say, here we go. So I think it's that treasure. I think it's the time. I mean, we have wonderful student leaders who are ambassadors to this college. I think anytime we have people come on campus or we take our Iona show on the road, we should be talking about the excitement happening in your classroom, in your experiences, in kind of these type of formats. So time, talent, treasure. I talk about that a lot with our alumni, with our friends, with our corporate partners, our investors, and I think for the students as well. This is your college, and you know, we're trying to make it an even better place than it is. And so with the help of others, I think we're going to get there. Again, transformational Iona Forever, largest fundraising endeavor in our young 75-year existence, but I think it shows that we're kind of, here we go.
Mr. Sutera, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you. It was a pleasure.